If you're on a PC, right-click and select rename. And you can change your name to whatever is appropriate. Now, in my case, I was producing an event yesterday, so I was still using the account of the event owner. So that's why this morning my name said something that was not me.
I love how you describe it, and it's almost like that TV voice, like guests of Social Media Pie will enjoy whatever it is he's describing is still in that tone of voice, and it's kind of like the delivery that you say it. And you guys know I don't make mistakes. I have learning experiences, and when Christopher shares his learning experiences, it's the tone in which he delivers it. It's in like this educational tone, and it's like it matches your brand. Calm, clear communications. It's a calm, clear, calmly, clearly communicated way that you do it. And it makes us, I don't know, it just makes me feel like I've just learned something by you showing what you just did. So thank you, Christopher, for those reminders. Appreciate it. And appreciate you joining us here today as well.
Always a pleasure.
All right. And we are now live on YouTube. So I'm going to welcome anybody who might be watching us on YouTube. And we're going to continue on with our introductions of folks that are new to today's VIP Job Seeker Office Hours. I'm welcoming the new folks and giving them the chance to introduce themselves. And then we're going to move into talking about some success stories for people that are in career transition. We're going to open the floor up to any questions related to job search, using LinkedIn for job search, etc. I do have a few experts that are in the audience, and I'm going to probably tap to be co-hosts, and I'll give them the moment to introduce themselves in just a minute here. So moving along, I want to introduce a couple more of the new folks that are joining us. Next up is Joel Hirschfield. Joel, could you please tell us how you heard about the group, and then remind us what is your targeted job title and your targeted geographic area, if you could.
Sure. Hi, good morning. My name is Joel Hirschfield, and I live in Connecticut, and Dean Artruck is one of our job search work team leaders, and he's mentioned your this program, and I've got your book, so you know.
Yay!
I've got
it's
your
always
book,
fun when the book makes an appearance on these things. I'm like, oh, look, they have it! Yay!
So I'm happy to join, and so thank you. Basically, I'm looking. I'm a medical case manager, medical coder, and looking for opportunities in that field, preferably remotely, but something in Connecticut with a health insurance plan or a hospital. Okay. And I pivoted from a career in physical therapy.
Oh, very interesting. All right, awesome.
Thank you.
Well, Joel, I'll ask you, and I'll remind everyone as well to go ahead and drop your introduction into chat if you have not already done so. And I'm just going to put the reminder in there in case you missed it when I first put it in there earlier. But whoops, I use a text expander and I had my coding wrong. So let me try this again. There we go. Okay, second time through here. So what we would like you to do to introduce yourself in the chat, you don't need to say, hi, this is Brenda Meller, because Zoom already says your name at the top of it, your name, not mine. But I do want you to tell us your targeted job title and just maybe one or two job titles you're looking for. We want to hear your whole life story, just one or two job titles, your targeted geographic area, where you are looking to work, where in the world you are located or where you are looking for work, and then put your LinkedIn URL in there as well. My advice is open up LinkedIn in another window. Get on your profile. Okay, then at the top of your profile in that address bar, you're going to see your LinkedIn URL. That includes the full HTTPS. That way, when you put that inside Zoom, it's going to be clickable. Okay, if you just put the www, it's not clickable, and then we can't network and invite you to connect while we're on these calls. So a reminder to do that. All right, next up, we have Paula Frankowiak. Did I say that correctly, Paula? Good morning and welcome. Introduce yourself if you could.
Yes, you did, Brenda. Thank you. Hi, everyone. Happy Friday. My name is Paula Frankowiak. Brenda, I know you through Detroit SHRM. You also too one time presented at an organization I was working at. And I'm actually connected with you on LinkedIn. I am looking for an opportunity in learning and development, organizational development, talent management, talent development, not a lot. Here in Metro Detroit, I prefer remote or hybrid. I'm not quite looking for 5 days back in the office, but that's me in a nutshell.
Okay, awesome. And Paula, by the way, do you have the name pronunciation feature set on your LinkedIn profile by any chance?
No, and I didn't even know there was one like that. So you're going to have to tell me.
All right.
Or I'm going to have to go back through your blogs or on your website to find out how that works. So
here's what I'm going to do. Actually, we're going to take a little field trip over to LinkedIn right now. I'm going to go to my profile and another page here, and then I'll pull it up in just a second. I've got too many windows going. Give me just a second here. Okay, I'm going to go back to LinkedIn, pull up my profile, and then I'm going to show you this feature. And while I'm doing this right now, I want everybody on the call to pull out their phone. If you have the LinkedIn app on your phone, open up the LinkedIn app right now. And I want you to navigate to your profile, not to my profile. I want you to pull up your phone, navigate to your profile on your phone right now. And I'm just going to do a quick once over in the audience. And there's probably a few of you that have this happened. Did I say that correctly? Either your first or your last name. Dorothea, for example, is it Cernera? How do I'm just calling out at you because I see you in there. Let's see, John, yes. Is it Lyman, Lemon? Like things like when you have people asking those questions every now and again, I want you to use this feature. So on your phone, if you're navigated to your profile, I want you to click on the little gray pencil icon that is in the upper white portion of your profile. Okay, everyone, I want you to do this right now so you know where this is at, okay? We're clicking on that little gray pencil icon that's in the white area at the top of our profile. Now we're in a section of our profile. It says edit intro, and you see it says first name, last name. Right underneath that, you see where it says name pronunciation. And then you can, I don't know, mine says your audio recording. If you don't have it, what does it say on yours, Paula? Does it say add a pronunciation or record it? What does it say?
Well, so what I did, I'll admit, I didn't follow your directions. I went on the, I went on the desktop and it says this can only be added using our mobile app. So now I gotta go over.
So you can't do it from desktop. That's what I said.
I thought you just said everyone on their phone because most people use their phones. They don't necessarily have a laptop or a desktop computer, right? So
yes.
Let me go on real quick and let me do this the correct way. Follow directions from the instructor. This
is why directions are. They're actually. I'm glad that you did this intentionally, Paula, because I want to remind folks that there are some features you cannot get to from the desktop. You can only get to from the mobile app, and there are some features you can't get to from the mobile app. You can only access them from the desktop. So again, learning experiences, all are good. So what does it say on yours?
It gives me a plus in blue, and then it says add name pronunciation in blue as well.
There you go. Okay, so this will be homework. If you want, you can do this right now and mute the call and go step away so we don't hear everybody in the background. But you have up to 10 seconds to put a name pronunciation on your profile. And my recommendation is that you record this and put a name pronunciation on, especially if your either first name or last name is difficult to pronounce. If you frequently getting people saying, did I say that correctly? It helps to ease that awkwardness. I always like to know before I jump on a call, am I saying your first and your last name correctly? 10 seconds. So when you click on the sound clip, it'll start recording, and then I think you can listen to it before you put it on your profile. What I recommend is that you say your name at a slower rate of speech than you would normally talk. You see how I just did that right now? So I'm not just going to say, hi, this is Brenda Meller, which is how I would say it if I met you at an event, right? I'm going to say, hi, this is Brenda Meller. And then I'm going to follow that with any cues I give people on how to correctly say my name. So for example, for me, I would say, hi, this is Brenda Meller. It's like Keller, but with an M. Okay. I have a friend, her last name is a little bit tricky. It's Majczuk, but it's like Majczzyk. It's, I'm not sure, Ukrainian or maybe it's Polish, but it's pronounced Majczuk. So she says, hi, my name is Pam Majczuk. So she'll say it slowly, right? In the enunciation of that. So give people any clues on how you say it or words that rhyme with it to make it a little bit easier for them. And then if you want to be an overachiever like me, you got 10 seconds in total. So that may have taken me 4 or 5 seconds maximum. I've got 5 more seconds. I can say anything I want. If I were you and in career transition and looking for my next dream job, I would say I'm an experienced technical programmer looking for my next dream job in Connecticut. Let's connect. So I might say something at the end, reminding people what I'm looking for, that targeted job title, that targeted geographic area. So a little bit of creativity in there. Once you have added this to your profile, you will see next to your name, just like mine, you will see this little sound microphone thing. Speaker, I guess it is, right? Let me click on it. Wave if you can hear this right now.
Hi, this is Brenda Meller.
Can you hear
It's
that?
like Keller, but with
Yes.
an S. Follow me for LinkedIn.
We can hear it.
More to invite me to connect if you need help unlocking the power of LinkedIn.
There you go. And actually, I just realized I got to change it because I'm changing my catchphrase from unlocking the power of LinkedIn to getting a bigger slice of the LinkedIn pie. So I just realized that for myself. But at any rate, Paula and others, I want to encourage you to include that on your profile. Whether or not it's tricky to say your name, because people can hear your voice. It adds a little bit of personality, a little bit of dimension to your profile. So Paula, thank you so much for joining us. We hope you enjoyed the call today.
Thanks.
All right. Next up, Mas Fukumoto. Mas, how are you doing today? How did you find out about the group? Please correct me if I've mispronounced your name, and then remind us, if you could, sir, your targeted job title and targeted geographic area as well.
It also sounds like I need to put the pronunciation of my name on my LinkedIn profile. Yeah, my name is Mas Fukumoto, located in Atlanta. And this past week, I had lunch with a colleague. We were just sharing job search tips, and then he had forwarded me the invitation for this group. So appreciate you being open to newcomers. I'm located in Atlanta and would like to remain here and open to work remotely and pursuing opportunities for a commercial leadership role in clean energy.
Wonderful. Well, that's definitely a great field to be in. A lot of conversation going on right now, especially with this summertime and global warming and energy efficiency, and everything is really important to many people. So thank you so much for joining us. I'm glad you found us. And we're going to jump right into our call now. So here's what we're going to do. If you have a success story to share, I want you to go into chat right now and type the word success in all caps, SUCCESS. I feel like I'm in a spelling bee. A success could be, I'm getting conversations started with recruiters or hiring managers. I'm getting interviews. It could be, I've made it to the second round of an interview. Things are looking good. It could be, I have a pending offer, or I have an offer. It could be I'm in the salary negotiation phase, or it could be I have a job. I'm not going to see you guys anymore. See ya, right? So any steps that you deem to be a success on your path of finding a job, go into chat right now. I want you to type in the word success. I'll call on you, and I want to hear your success stories. I also am curious if there's anyone on here who has any questions that we can answer for you and related to your job search. So it could be resume related, salary negotiation related, could be about inquiries you're getting for opportunities. It could be about using LinkedIn for your job search. Any of the above, I want you to put the word question in all caps, QUESTION, and then type out your full question. That way, if we can't get to your question, there may be others on the call that can help you out. Joan Smith, I would still do name pronunciation, even though Joan Smith is probably not mispronounced. You can use your personality to introduce yourself in your name. I just saw that inside there. All right. And then I also want to invite a few of my fellow career strategists and helpers to introduce themselves. Let me see who we have on the call. I know I saw Kenneth Lang. Kenneth, are you still there? And would you like to introduce yourself?
Sure. Welcome, everyone. Kenneth Lang. I'm here in Northern New Jersey. I'm a LinkedIn trainer. I focus mainly on 45 and older, checking with them the different needs and expectations. And Brenda and I, we met a couple of years ago, and we've been in touch. And I think what I love so much about the LinkedIn community is that we all share our expertise with each other, which also helps us help all of you. And I'm in my Follow Friday shirt today. And I know you actually did a post. I have my LinkedIn coffee cup here. So I'm really all with it today. And great to see everyone here. I'm happy to help. Connect with me anytime and let me know how I can help you.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Kenneth. And I'll have you help out with Q&A if that's okay today. You know you have no choice. It's kind of like you're being voluntold if you come into my call, but I think
I've never heard voluntold before. That is a great word. No.
You can use that everywhere. I did not invent it. I wish I could take credit for it, but you can use that anywhere you'd like.
No, that's great. Voluntold. All right. You have voluntold me that I need to do something.
There you go. Awesome. I also see we have Jude Gall on with us here today. Hey, Jude, hey, Jude, I had to do it. Sorry. Can you introduce yourself? I feel like I should break out into song a little more, but maybe not.
Good morning, everyone. And good morning, Brenda. I absolutely love it every time somebody says, hey, Jude, to me. So I am a resume writer and job search coach. I work with individuals who are looking to find the work that they really want to do. I'm not interested in just helping people find another job. I'm really my belief is that everyone deserves a job that they love going to, that they, get up Monday morning and they're like, wow, I can't wait to get back into the office and start work again. That's the kind of work that I want to help people find. And I also have Brenda's book, and I'm also one of her big fans because she's helped me a lot on my LinkedIn and my LinkedIn profile and commenting and learning how to use it to be known by more people so I can help more people with their job search.
Awesome. I love when my book makes an appearance. If you guys want to make my day, like, feel free to hold up your book when you introduce yourself or ask a question. That does it for me. It's the little things in life, really. I still pinch myself that I've actually written a book. It's crazy to think about, like, sitting down and actually writing a book. And this is like, it's a thick book. It's like, what, 260 something pages. It's not one of those little one-liner 50-page flip through. It's like content. And by the way, at the end of the call today, I'm going to give away a book. I want to show you guys what I did. I started signing. This is like a, I can't sell this now because it says the wrong name. I was autographing books and mailing them out. And I had one person I was sending it to, Kara, and I think the next person was Crystal. And as I was pulling out Crystal's book to sign, I was looking at Kara's mailing label and I started writing that. So I don't make mistakes. I have learning experiences, and I sometimes convert those learning experiences into bonuses for my VIP community. And this is a wrong name bonus. So at the end of the call today, if you're still on, I'm going to do a random drawing for anybody who has not yet purchased a copy of the book, who is in career transition. We'll use a thing called, what's the name generator site? I can't remember the name of it. I'll remember it at the end. But we're going to
Wheel of Names.
Wheel of Names. Thank you. Who said that?
It was me, Santina.
Tina. Okay. So it's, Santina. So we're going to have at the end of the call today, we're going to do a random drawing for somebody to get my copy of my book. But thank you guys for doing that. All right. Did I get everybody who's a career strategist or coach who I normally have helping me out? I saw Kenneth and I saw Jude. I don't think I saw Mindy on today. I'm not sure if anyone else is on that I've missed. If you are a career strategist or coach, please unmute yourself right now. Hearing none, let's go into see if we have any success stories or questions. I did see one question coming in. I'm just scrolling to see if there's any success stories that I've missed. Reminder, use all caps for success story. Or you can raise your hand too. That helped me out. Let's see. Question from Lewis. Lewis, you had a horrible job interview. Took 15 minutes to get the video to work. What are your suggestions on what to do when this happens so you can still have the full interview? So tell us a little bit more of the backstory here, Lewis. Was the interview glitch on your end? Was it on their end? Tell us a little bit more about what happened.
Okay, so everyone always says you need to try to make sure everything works. So 30 minutes before, it worked. 15 minutes before, my video, audio, everything, test, worked. And it wasn't on Zoom. I think it was Google Meets. But I tested all of it. 5 minutes before I need to get into the interview, no video, nothing. Now, the IT person in me should have thought, oh, reboot your computer. But I was flustered and going, I got to get into the room on time. So it didn't work. I got into the room on time. Hey, and they could hear me and said, but we'd love to see you. I said, yeah, I can't get the video to work. How about go in, come back out? All right, tried that, didn't work. I said, I think I need to do a reboot on the computer. And they said, go ahead. But I said, while we wait, should we try another method? Should we do anything? No, go ahead and reboot your computer. All right. While I was rebooting, she called because it was taking a minute. You know, you got to shut it down. Everything's got to come back up and it doesn't take 2 seconds. I said, well, should we start on the phone? And there was some reason why, I don't know. But short end of it, 15 minutes in, yay, here I am. You can see me, everything good, but I lost 15 minutes.
Yeah.
So I didn't know what to do and what to ask at that point. They just said, let's get started. So I figured we got the experts on here. Ask the question, what would you do? I got some good answers and some good feedback, but I'd love to hear this group's ideas on, because maybe one of you guys have had the same trouble.
So let me ask a question, Louis. Was this a Zoom call?
No, it was like a Google Meet. You know how there's different.
Oh,
So
I hate Google Meets.
yeah.
Christopher, do you have any experience with Google Meets?
I do.
Okay.
I prefer Zoom.
Do you want to help? I know, right? Do you want to help us with this and maybe ask Louis some questions? And I want to see what advice you might have for him, because you're our go-to tech guy on the call here.
So everything he described is exactly what, I would do. You verify and then you triple check. Now, is there more than one camera?
On my Mac that I was using, I don't know. I assume only one.
Okay. The way, well, let's see, what I would do in the situation is exactly what you did. Hey, this doesn't seem to be working. Can we reschedule this? Or if you can pull it up on your phone, and if you have a tripod or something that you can place your phone in, and then just do the interview that way. Either one. Because sometimes, getting it to work one way takes a lot longer than just switching to a different device.
Well, and I was given the advice that obviously I didn't think of at the time to say two things. One, is there a hard stop for this interview? Because it did say 30 minutes on the scheduled time, but you never know. That's just them putting that in. I didn't know to ask that. And also, she did say when she called me, if this doesn't work, we could try Zoom. And I said, absolutely. But because 15 minutes in it worked, I didn't ask hard stop. I just went ahead and went with it. I didn't ask, as you said, do you think we should reschedule so we can get the full time? I mean, mistakes made, you learn from them. It was disappointing, but it's better to ask this question here, talk about it with the community, because we're all going to have this happen.
Absolutely. Technology fails not when we want it to. One of the key things, though, is being able to switch to a different device if you don't have time to reboot, or if a reboot is going to impact the process. So was there a different device you could switch to, or?
Well, I wasn't prepared to do it, but I could have. I'll do that next time.
A backup is always a good thing.
All right, I'm trying to pull myself back up on camera here, and I'm trying to have.
Brenda, can I ask a question?
Yes, who is the I?
This is Paula.
Sure, Paula, what's your question?
Louis, how did the interview go?
Obviously, it was rushed, not so well, but I was calm, cool, collective, answered all they asked. At the very end, they asked, are there any questions? And they only had like 3, 4, 5 minutes left. I asked what I could. They had to quickly get off. So that's all I could say about that.
So, because I do a lot of, facilitation and technology, and sometimes I feel like you got to just roll with the punches, right? Like, yeah, this stunk, it didn't work, but I think that people understand in this technology world that we're living in now, after COVID has happened, like stuff like this happens. I mean, I had a situation where I was doing a webinar for a client, and AT&T decided to restart my router in the middle of the webinar, right? So what do? I hopped on my phone really quick. I texted my HR contact. I said, give me 3 seconds, because AT&T just randomly restarted my router. Got back up, apologized to everyone, told them what happened, and then just dive back in. So yeah, sometimes that's what I know you're focused on, like what went wrong with the technology, but you got to think, okay, what was the end result? How did the interview go? And then just chalk it up to, that's a curveball that life throws at us, and you got to be, you can't let those curveballs, I guess, throw you off in terms of what your end goal or your end objective is.
And it didn't. I did send the thank you and say, could we have some more time, maybe another interview? Haven't heard back. So obviously I know their answer. I was just a candidate they were interviewing. I wasn't the one that maybe they wanted. That's fine. Right. I just want to learn from this and see how I could do better than, hopefully not a next time, but if this ever does happen.
Louis, it is possible that you are their candidate. They're just interviewing other candidates right now, and they're busy. It's possible, right?
Thank you. And I am trying to stay positive. So thank you for that, Joey. I do need that.
Yeah, it's possible. They're busy. Think about when you were working and you were swamped, and everybody's vying for your attention. I think, and you're not the only one. We all do this. We all think the worst, and it's very possible they've had other issues with other candidates. And how long ago did this occur? May I ask?
About a week and a half ago. So a short
I would
period
stay in
of time.
touch. I would send an email, make a phone call, text, whatever. I would stay in touch. The worst that can happen is they say, we're not interested, right? But if you don't stay in touch, they'll be thinking, this guy's not interested. Let's move on. And so then you're right. They don't care about you. Right?
I'll do that. And I
right?
was going to do that actually today. So you
Good.
kind of pushed me to actually do that after we're done with all this.
Good. No charge.
I saw Jude with her hand raised. So Jude, did you want to add something too?
Yeah, I wanted to say to Louis, after an interview, especially if things go kind of wonky, if there's something that you forgot to mention that you think is very important for them to know regarding the role, you can include that in a thank you email, right? I know we didn't get a chance to talk about this. I just wanted to let you know that I have blah, 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 which I think would be a great fit for the job. So you don't have to wait for them to promote yourself. You can promote your strengths and your skills that you didn't come up during the interview in a thank you.
I'll think about that next time because I didn't do that. And I add, when I do send a thank you, I never say I except at the very end. I'm always you, you're looking for yada, yada. This is why you should hire me. And then of course I say, I'll follow up with you or I look forward to. So you have to say one I, kind of.
I'm going to disagree with that. A thank you is not a resume. A thank you is more of a personal note where you can allow your personality to shine through a bit. So, you don't want to start every single sentence with an I, but there's nothing wrong with saying, I really enjoyed the interview today and I'm super excited about the role.
So, I don't want you to think that I don't do that. I mean, I just wanted to add that I try to vary it up so it's not all about me, blah, 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 them, but take the points that you said. Next time I'll do that because you're right. If it happens, I'll need to be able to rebound and say, I didn't get to say this. How do I do it? Now I can do it in the thank you. And you're right.
Awesome. All right. I'm going to keep the conversation moving. Thank you so much, Jude, for adding that additional insight. I'm trying to move the spotlights around a little bit on that. And the final thing is, I think folks already said this to you, Louis, too, but did you say you sent a follow-up thank you yet or not yet?
I did send it. So it's already been done.
Okay. And in the follow-up, did you ask the additional questions you didn't get a chance to ask in the email?
No, I didn't think to do that because I didn't know if it was appropriate, but now it sounds like I could have.
Did they say at the end of the interview, did they say like what the next steps were in the process? Like if you have any other questions, email me, or did they say we'll be back in 2 weeks, or what was the next step as the call ended, or was it just like we got to go by? Like
pretty much we got to go. They ran out of time. I was wanting to say what are the next steps, whatever, and that's why I said it felt rushed at the very, very end, and I hated that. And so I should have asked that even in the thank you note, and that's why I'm learning from this on how to. Hopefully, it never happens, but if it does, what can you do?
Okay, I'm going to add something, and then I'm going to see if Kenneth wants to add anything, and then we'll move on. So here's what I would do if I were you. Some people are not good interviewers. I'm just going to call it like it is. And technology glitches are not always our fault. Sometimes they are the fault of the technology provider. Zoom has a hiccup, or GoToMeetings or Google Meets doesn't work with your computer or whatever. We can't control those things. And people have said this, you might be the candidate they really want. They may be very embarrassed about this whole thing. They might be like, we created a bad impression. The guy's not going to talk to us anymore. But assume it was no one's fault. It was just the fault of technology. In the next follow-up you do, if you sent them a follow-up yesterday, I would give it like a few days and then send them another follow-up and just say, hi, Rajiv. I realized after we had completed our call on Friday that I had a few additional questions I didn't get a chance to ask. I'm going to put them in this email for your convenience. If you'd like to reply back to email, that'd be great. Or if we could jump on a phone call. These are questions I'd love to have answered to continue to move on in the process. And did you see what I just did there? I didn't say, if you want to continue to interview me, or if I kind of just like neutralized it the way I said it just now. To continue on the process, I need to have these questions answered. I'm continuing to look at opportunities. And if you are genuinely interested in this position, you would say, however, this position I feel most closely aligns with my goals and experiences. And I think I could definitely hit the ground running. Due to the technology glitch that we experienced with Google Meets, perhaps next time we could do a Zoom call instead. Happy to use my Zoom account if that would be helpful for you. So see what I just did there too. I'm trying to be like this gracious interviewee, not saying I know more about technology than you, but also it didn't work for us the first time. And I'm sure you're not the first person. I have issues with Google Meets too, and I use a lot of stuff too. So, but I'm trying to keep it neutral. I'm trying to gain a little bit of control over a situation that felt a little bit chaotic and hectic. I'm going to assume they're not a very strong interviewer, or they're not strong with technology, or they may not know what to do next. They may be embarrassed about the situation. And I'm offering them some alternatives to help them save face, but also to maintain my integrity and pride. Does that help at all, Louis? Or okay. And then Kenneth Lang, do you want to add anything to this before we move on?
A couple of things. First of all, the fact that they're using Google Meet kind of makes me wonder a little bit about what their technology is all about. But I would definitely, if you're interested in the job, let them know that you're interested in the job, because they may be making the assumption that you're not interested because you haven't followed up. And I think the embarrassment part's a very relevant thing. I might also consider connecting with them on LinkedIn with a personal note. Again, it depends on what your comfort level with doing it, because you've got nothing to lose by trying. I think job seekers have that mindset. The worst thing that can happen is nothing is going to change.
Great. I love it. Thank you so much for sharing that, Kenneth. Thank you, Louis, for getting such a lively conversation started with us today. And, you have helped all of us to learn about testing technology, what to do next. And even these questions, I mean, we're all going to have hiccups and glitches as we go through this process of interviewing. So I'm sure we all learned something from this conversation. I want to thank all the folks on the line for helping as well. All right. We have another question from Jeffrey Ullman. And Jeffrey, if you could, I'm going to ask you to come on camera here in a second. Your question, do I see any downside to using open to work on your profile? I don't, but I'd like your view. Jeffrey, if you could, could we bring Jeffrey up on camera?
I'm here.
Okay, there you are. All right. So I know what you're talking about, the little open to work circle.
Right.
And is it on your profile? I'm going to pull you up on screen if that's okay.
Yes, it is.
Okay, give me just a second here.
I know when it first became available, there was a lot of debate on LinkedIn. Is it good? Is it bad? For all kind of reasons. I don't see any downside. The fact is, I am looking for work. So I'd be curious, Brenda and all the other thought leaders, what your view is of open to work.
Okay, I'm going to have the career experts weigh in on this first, and then I'll give you my opinion. I've got a blog that I've written about this too. I'll put that into chat.
Okay.
Jude, I'm going to have you help us out first. Jude, what are your thoughts on the open to work circle? Should we use them? Should we not? Pros and cons.
Wow, this is a real tough one, actually. I'm going to say that if it's been up for more than 3 months, you might want to consider taking it down. Yeah,
well, in my case,
give it a try. If it's getting you recruiters, like if it's getting results and recruiters are reaching out to you, or perhaps even people in your network on LinkedIn are sending you messages saying, hey, Jeffrey, I heard about this. I saw your open to work ribbon. If things like that are happening, and you're able to follow through on some of those calls, then absolutely keep it on. But if nothing's happening and it's been a while, like a month or two, I would say take it down. You know, you've given it a shot. It's not producing any results. So take it down. That would be my advice. I'm really interested in what Kenneth's gonna say.
All right, Jeffrey, is it okay if we'll hear from everyone and then I want to hear your comments and your
Yeah, I'm
response?
sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
No, you're totally fine. But I know we're going to get some differing opinions on this too. So let's see what Kenneth has to say. Kenneth, what do you think? Open to work circle, yay or
Well,
nay?
my opinion changes like the wind, believe it or not. I believe it should definitely be open to recruiters for sure. I'm not sure if I'd make it public to everyone else because recruiters actually do searches. I didn't look at your profile. I think, you know, again, the title by itself, you want to take advantage of that with real estate, with other keywords and things, but I have a different take about it. It's not just about the open to work. It's about putting all the skills and all the different within all the different jobs and making sure you're being found that way. Do you ever look at your weekly dashboard to see how you're being found to make sure it even matches? Because that's really the first thing to do. If it's not working that way, then you really need to explore that. I think that's a very underutilized tool. So that's kind of what my thinking is basically. Recruiters only, no problem with that, but make sure your profile matches what they're looking for.
Okay. Thank you, Kenneth. All right, Jeffrey, can I ask you a couple questions and then I'll give you my feedback
Sure.
and then I want to have your response back.
Sure.
I see at the top of your profile, you have Red Hat in your banner and I also scroll down to your experience section and I see Red Hat. Are you currently working for this organization?
No, I was actually, if we had time, I was going to ask you that question.
Yeah.
I used to work at Red Hat. I am currently looking full time. I realize it's a little confusing listing both, but I guess to answer Jude's comments, I am getting some hits. I'm getting people say, hey, I see you have open to work. You know, I'm interested, both from recruiters and peers. It's only been a month or so since I've been looking. I was a little unclear on what I found, honestly, is people don't often read your profile in detail. And they see open to work and they see Red Hat and they kind of assume I may have recently been at Red Hat, but I'm looking for work. But I realize it is a little confusing. Does that answer your question?
It does. And I'm going to offer you a suggestion. I'm going to drop this into chat right now. And then I'm going to pull this blog up on screen as well and tell you a little bit about this. So this was probably, gosh, I don't even know. I guess it was back in 2020. I did a post on LinkedIn and it was like on a Friday night. And I asked the question, let me show you the post. I asked for my recruiter friends. I said, I heard that profiles won't come up in as many searches if there's not an employer listed. Some job seekers have already put an end date and then what should I do? And if you have an end date, you don't come up in as many searches. It's like a LinkedIn will tell you a complete profile will deliver you to more search results. So if you have an end date, you know, it's penalizing you and that's not fair. So I asked my recruiter friends, what should people do? And I said, I have heard some people leaving their current employer without an end date. And if you've already put an end date, don't open it up again because it looks like you went back to work there. Don't do that. But if you haven't put an end date, keeping it open. That's one alternative. Another is putting an end date on your current position and then listing a employer that, for example, there's company pages out on LinkedIn that people have created. This is one, it's called Currently Seeking Opportunities. And if I click on, I'm just going to click on one of these profiles. Sylvie is she's a former participant of the group. I don't think she's on today's phone call. But if I scroll down to her experience section, her top employer is listed as this company. And I'm using air quotes with my fingers. It's not really a company, but it says Currently Seeking Opportunities full-time. Now, she has chosen not to show her current employer in the top header card. And you can deselect that not to show it on there. I want to see if I can find one other person who has shown it so that you can see it. It'll appear in the top header card. No, he's not. He must.
Brenda, this is Santina. You can go to my profile because I have one on there.
Do you have it? Okay. Thank you, Santina. What, do you remember what the page was that you used? Currently available. There you go. And what I love about this too, I can't really see what the logo says and that doesn't bother me because it says currently available. I know it's kind of like it's a alternate open to work use on here saying currently available. I kind of like that too. It's currently available. I'm like, I could start immediately, kind of a thing. When I
Right.
scroll down to her experience section, currently available was the company name that she chose as her current employer. Her job title is the targeted job title that you are looking for. Training, development, and facilitation, employee engagement. So that is what she is looking for. That is her targeted job title. Then we don't have the issue of, I guess that's part of my concern with your profile, Jeffrey. I see red
Yep.
hat, and I hear where you're coming from. Like, well, people will see that, they'll see open to work, they'll connect. I kind of like the approach on there, but the other side of that might be somebody might go, wait, he's working at Red Hat and he has open to work on his profile. That's a faux pas. That looks really bad. It looks like he's not happy with his job at Red Hat and he doesn't know that he's broadcasting it to the world, right? It could be.
Yep.
And then also you're continuing to brand yourself as a Red Hat employee. You're continuing to give them visibility for anybody who visits your profile. And they're not giving you a paycheck anymore, you know? So why give them that? Instead, I'd love to see something, you say customer success executive. I'd love to see some type of a banner that shows
Right.
me your personality, your profession, your background. And you can go to canva.com. They've got templates for LinkedIn headers. You can do a search for stock photos and look at the word success or customer success or teamwork or leadership, or you can put a picture of mountains in the background with
Right.
driven to customer success, a headline over high, but something different other than branding yourself as a Red Hat employee in there. So
No.
giving you a couple options, Jeffrey, I want to hear your feedback, your thoughts, if you have any additional questions.
No, all great feedback, all valid. I appreciate it. So thank you.
Okay, awesome. Thank you for letting us go a little deeper
Sure.
on the discussion there. Appreciate it. All right, let me stop the screen share here and I'm going to pull us back up. We got about 10 minutes to go. I want to see if there's any final questions or success stories that came in. Alex, I see has a question. Alex Diamore Braver, did I say that correctly? Hopefully you'll get the name pronunciation set up on your profile. Alex,
Demore Braver.
say it for me again.
Demore Braver.
Demore Braver. See
Yes.
how I tripped over it, and I'm probably not the only one who did.
Oh, for sure. I'm definitely gonna do that.
All right. So Alex, how do you see who is a mutual connection is on someone's profile? I have second level connections, but I'd like to include the name of our mutual connections in my message. So this is as you're inviting people to connect, you see common connections and you want to know how to reference them. Is that fair to say? Are you there, Alex? I think you're muted.
Yes, exactly.
Okay. All right. So let's say, for example, so you're doing a search for people. I'm just going to click on somebody over here, like Chelsea Hart-Smith, for example. Chelsea's a second level connection. I see that we have a shared connection, Shelby Cooper. So you should see them underneath their name on their profile right here. I'm going to click on
Do you need
one
to
or
have
two
premium
more.
to see that?
No, this should be just regular LinkedIn. Like Talia Jackson, for example, she's a third level connection. We don't share any common connections, so I'm not seeing that on her profile. Let me try one or two more on here.
Okay.
Here's
I
Joanna.
see, like,
Yeah, she's not showing anything on here.
this person comes up as a second, but then there's nothing that says mutual connection.
If this person may have hidden their connections, there is a way to hide them.
Oh,
on
okay.
there. So if that's the case, let me give you a little workaround on that as well.
Okay.
I think this works, and that is I want to see if people have commented on their posts, if it might say second level connection in the comments. I think it still would there. Kenneth, do you know what I'm talking about? Would that work?
I know what you're talking about, but just a caveat, they're changing the mutual connections functionality,
Okay.
switching it to followers. So you're not going to see mutual connections, you're going to see mutual followers. So the workaround that you have there is definitely something to share, because you're not
Okay.
going to have that flexibility when you do a connection request.
Is that going to be for everyone, or is that going to be just for creator mode?
That's
or-
for everyone, and some people actually have it already. So that's going to be a downside.
Yeah.
So just to let everyone know that, I mean, this is just being rolled out now. So if you don't have it yet, you're going to.
I think I have that. You can't see it from your own profile, right?
I don't think so. I've seen it from other people's profiles. when I call up First Connections, they talk about followers. You can call mine up and see what's going on.
Yeah,
Actually.
I'm wondering if I look at it on yours. So followed
See there,
by,
see, it says
but
followed
mine
by.
says followed by 207 connections.
And that might be what's going on. I don't know. I mean, but they're
Yeah.
switching it over now. So it's not,
Okay.
it's not the way it was.
Okay. But the
Okay.
short answer for now,
The short
for you,
answer is-
Alex, is
Yeah.
yes, you can see them without having premium, unless they have chosen to hide their connections, then you would not be able to see them. If that
Okay.
is the case, if I were you, Alex, what I would do is if that person is active on LinkedIn and they're posting regularly on LinkedIn, go on their activity feed like I'm doing for Kenneth right now. I'm looking at his posts. And if you look and see who has commented on his posts, next to their name, you'll see second.
Mhm.
So you could use that as like a workaround to get to, it won't show you all the people, but you could say, I see that we share a few common connections, including, and then anyone who is a second would be a shared connection of yours.
Okay, it doesn't look like they've posted lately, so I don't know, if it's even worthwhile to try to connect with them. I mean, I guess it couldn't hurt, but
Could you reference something else other than shared connections in your invitation to them? Do you work in the same industry? Are you in the same geography? Did you attend any of the same schools, work at the same places, join the same groups? Is there anything else on the profile you could
well, I
mention?
would say we're in the same industry. I mean, I applied at the organization that she works for. So that's why I want to connect. I see that she is a second level and figured that if I mention that person, that would be,
Yeah.
a better level of connection. But maybe I could mention something like, I see you're a second level connection. I wonder who it is that we know in common or something like that.
I would do that because that might seem a little creepy, stalkerish. I don't know. Like it's going in that direction
Okay.
of like, I wonder who it is. Like what I might say instead, Alex, is, I might say like, hi, Santina. We haven't met yet, but I see that we both work in the manufacturing industry. And that you work for XYZ company, which I've been following for a while. Let's connect on LinkedIn. And then Santina accepts it. If she does accept it, then we message her back and then we would say, thanks for accepting my invitation, Santina. I'm actually thinking about applying, or I have applied for the manufacturing engineer position at your company. And I'm wondering if you have any insight into the hiring process.
Okay.
Let me know if you'd be open to a chat. So kind of crack the door open, see if she walks through and see if the conversation goes any further.
Yeah.
Does that help?
Yes, yeah, for sure.
Kenneth,
Thank
do you
you.
want to add anything? And then Jude, do you want to add anything to that?
I mean, the caveat's going to be this. I've had people reach out to me to ask if I know someone at a company, and I probably do, but I haven't connected with them for a while. So it's a little bit premature for me to be that assertive. I mean, I don't even remember why I've connected with a lot of people, but someone from the other end doesn't necessarily know that. They don't know how long our relationship has been, been or not been. So I think I would reach out to the person at the company myself first to reconnect with them, because it's my name that's out there. And if it backfires, that affects me, and it also indirectly affects the person. You really have to think about that. But the person asking me for help is not going to know that. So that's why you have to be somewhat, cordial and, respectful and understanding of both sides.
Right.
Good advice. Thank you, Kenneth. And on that note too, Alex, if that person, if you can't find common connections, go on to the next person at the company. I'm sure there's other people at the company. You could invite them to connect. Their connections may be showing, and you could try that approach with others. And I actually tell people, connect with multiple people at the company, at your targeted companies, because it increases the likelihood that others at the company are going to accept it if they see that you share a lot of common connections that are their coworkers. Jude, do you have anything additional to add to this before we move off?
Nope. I think you and Kenneth have done a brilliant job in covering all the bases.
All right, wonderful. And I've just dropped in the invitation in the chat again, the URLs for Kenneth and for Jude. I'm going to have both of you offer any closing comments. If there's anything you're working on that you want to tell us about, I'll do the same for Christopher, and then we're going to do the book drawing at the end. So Kenneth, I want to have you go first. Is there anything you're working on right now? Any events that you want to tell us about before we wrap up?
Sure. Well, every Tuesday I do my LinkedIn live from 1 to 2 o'clock, and we're breaking out audio sessions as well. But the one thing I want to recommend is when people connect with me, be as specific as possible. If you're going to refer to this call, that's great, but let me know specifically how I can help you. It isn't just enough to say, I need a job. And I think that's a good kind of thing to think about, because all of us, we love to help and pay it forward, but we want to be as helpful, which means you have to be as specific as possible. So thanks for the opportunity, Brenda.
All right, thanks so much for joining us here, Kenneth. We appreciate you joining, and thank you for the help on the questions today as well. Jude, how about you? Anything you're working on? Anything you want to tell us about as we wrap up our conversation today?
I actually really enjoy working one-on-one with clients. So I don't do webinars. I just really like the one-on-one connection with clients. So other than that, I just want to say I've gotten so many invites to connect with no messages. If you are doing that, please stop. Heed Kenneth's advice that he just gave, and let us know why you're connecting with us, where you met us. If it was a post that you really liked, reference the post, reference the comment, but just don't send out these connections that have no information as to what you're looking for and why you want to connect.
Awesome. Great reminder, Jude. And you can add a note with every invitation you send. The steps to do that from desktop, if you see the connect button, when you click on connect, before you click on send, you'll get an option to add a note. So that's where you do it. If you're on the mobile app, you want to go to the more button, always to the more button or the three dots. Don't click on connect because sometimes it bypasses that. And when you click on that more button or the three dots on the mobile app, you'll get an option that will say personalized invite. That's where you add that note in there. After you sent it, if there is a way, or at least there used to be a way you could message a person, or sometimes you have to have an in-mail credit to do so. So you kind of lose out on that opportunity. If you have any additional questions about that, let me know. Christopher Johnson to the front of the room. Christopher, do you want to remind us about anything you're working on right now, or any way we'd like to get a hold of you, or anything else you want to talk about?
Sure. I have a LinkedIn Live interview with Orly Ziwi on Tuesday, and we're going to be discussing the pitch and reimagining it. Everyone needs a pitch, and everyone's understanding of the pitch is different. So this should be a fun conversation.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Christopher. And we're going to wrap up with our book drawing today. And I'm going to remind all of you, this is how I'm going to do this for today for the book drawing. I'm going to put the link into comments right now, so you can come and join us on the thread. And I'm just going to copy link to post. Now I need to paste it inside our Zoom chat. As long as you are inside this group, you can comment on this post right now. And right now I only see Alex and Joan. So you got a 50-50 chance of winning a free book. I'll vamp for another minute or so here till the others come into the group. If you are not yet a member of the group, you have to join the group. And I just put the group link inside the Zoom chat. This is a private unlisted group on LinkedIn. Unlisted means you cannot find it unless I give you the link. So you can't search on LinkedIn and find this group. It's like really hidden behind the scenes. Private means all of the group activity stays inside the group. It does not broadcast anywhere. The only people who can see the posts, your comments, everything that's inside here are group members. So this is really a VIP job seeking community group on here. At the beginning of the call, you may have seen that I will show some posts that have occurred in the past week inside the group. I also want to remind all of you to go to the group at least once a week and see what's happening inside here, because folks are sharing job postings. Folks like Kathy are sharing advice on interviewing rules and articles and resources from other people. And feel free, if you come across something that you feel might be of interest to the group, drop it inside here. Anytime I see a job opportunity, I will reshare it inside the group. This one right here, let's see, Rex Roy is looking for an art director with experience with Adobe InDesign, for example. Here's another one from Christina in Hazel Park. They're looking for a human resource generalist. This is one of my clients, UHY Resource Solutions Group. They're hiring for a senior tax accountant in Port Huron. So some of these are not inside the jobs board on LinkedIn, so you're not going to see them. So anytime I come across a post for a job, I will share it inside the group. I would encourage all of you to do the same as well. You never know who you're going to help. You never know who that poach is going to help reach. So feel free, scroll through. I always like to kind of see what other people are talking about first and then share my own job postings that are in there. Christy's a graduate of the group. This is exciting to see too. She is now on the other side, which is she is now hiring and recruiting, which is very, very exciting. Full-time hybrid. It's an HR role within her organization. So be sure to check that out. All right, let's see who we got here for the book drawing. And I'm going to do Wheel of Names. I'm going to load this up on here. Let me just refresh this to make sure that nobody else has added their name. Because remember, it was a 50-50. Oh, now we got 25% at winning. We got 4 comments. Look at that. So we got between Dorothea, Andrew, Alex, and Joan. I'm going to refresh it. I'm going to pull up Wheel of Names, I should say, and then I'll add those 4 in. I'll check it one more time, and then I will go back and do the drawing. So Dorothea, Andrew, Alex, and Joan. Let's see if I can remember that. Dorothea, Alex, Andrew, was it? See how bad I am? That's how short my name is. Dorothea, Andrew, Alex. Where did I come up with Andrew? I have no idea. No, it was. Andrew was one of them. Okay.
Yeah, I'm one of them. That's me.
Okay. There's actually a way you can like code the wheel for your colors, and you can put a picture of the prize that you're giving away in the middle too. It's a really cool website, wheelofnames.com. It's the one I use whenever I'm doing drawings. Oh, we have 4 people knocking on the door to join the group. So let me add you all in case you want to be in on the book drawing too. And let me go back to the post. If you still want to be in on the drawing, if you're one of those 4 people who just joined the group, I'll give you another 30 seconds to add a comment to the post. And I'm also going to put the playback link for today's call inside this post too, so you can come back to this later. All right. Copy of, this is the bonus book. It's the wrong name. So I'm going to cross off where I said on the front of the book, hi, Kara. I'm going to cross off Kara, and I'm going to write your name, and I'm going to mail it to you with a little autographed inscription. You lucky person, you. All right, let's see here. Last refresh. Let's see if there's anyone else. So we got 5 comments inside here. Sonia. Okay, so is that the last one? Sonia's got the book too. Okay, good. I think that might be the last one. I think Sonia. Do I have Joan? I did not have Joan in there. Yes, I did. Okay, Sonia. My intern, Sarah, finished off her internship yesterday. My new intern, Julia, is starting this week, but she may or may not be on the Friday calls with her availability. So we're going to see. So I might be flying solo for a little bit. All right. So let's see. We've got all 5 names in the wheel. It looks kind of weird because we got blue against blue, but it is right. All right. So this is what you do. Wheel of Names. You click to spin, just like they do in Vegas. I hold my arms and elbows up so you can see that I'm not like touching the keyboard to stop the wheel or anything like that.
Yay.
And Andrew, yeah. Congratulations. I love the confetti and the fun stuff and everything on here as well. So Andrew, congratulations, sir. I'm going to email you and I will ask you for a mailing address and I'll get this in the mail to you.
Brenda, I really appreciate that. And since I already have a copy of your book, can you maybe choose someone else in the group who doesn't have a copy and send it to them?
We can. Let me do this again. So Sonia, Joan, Alex, and Dorothea, do you want me to include you in the drawing?
Brenda, yes, because I don't have the book. That's Joan.
Okay.
Brenda, but I don't know if does Wendy qualify? I see a note from her.
Is Wendy in the post too?
I think she said she thought she was a member already. So
well, you have to comment on the post that I put in here today. Oh, Moss is in here. Okay, so let me add in Moss, Katie. Let's see here.
Sorry, I made this way more complicated.
No, you're fine. You just gave someone else the opportunity to win the book. And someone said Wendy is trying to get into the drawing. So I'm going to add Wendy in on good faith that she's here on the call today. Must be present to win. If you dropped off the call, you do not win the book because that's one of the perks of staying on to the very end. So let me just click and see if we have anything else.
Wendy's on the call. We just can't see her.
Okay,
Hopefully
no
Brenda
problem,
didn't
Wendy.
write. Hopefully
All
Brenda
right.
didn't write Andrew's name on the book already.
I'm sorry, say that again, the last person?
I said, hopefully you didn't write Andrew's name inside the book already.
I did not. I wrote it on my Post-it note on the front, but I'll cross it off here. So we're good. All right, I'm going to try this again. Hands up, not cheating. It's like the anticipation. It's like the Wheel of Fortune. Is it going to click over or not? All right, Sonia, congratulations. I will email you and get your mailing address and get that autographed copy of the book in the mail for you this weekend. And you win a very cool autographed copy of The Wrong Name. I'll have a cross off on there. Social Media Pie, How to Enjoy a Bigger Slice of LinkedIn with yours truly. Hope you enjoy the book on there. All right, guys, I want to thank everyone for joining us here today. Let's see, the time is now 11:09. I'm actually going to end our call today because I've got to get ready for another call in just a few moments. But I want to thank all of you for joining us here today. Thank you so much for Christopher, for Jude, for Kenneth, for helping out, for Lewis, and who was the other person who was on at the beginning of the call? Lisa, for helping me at the beginning of the call, admitting people in the room. And thank you to attending to Christopher, Lewis, Jude, Kenneth, Jeffrey, Alex, Brad, Dean, Dorothea, Jeff, Joan Smith, and Joan Strauss, Joel, Joey, John, Katie, Santina, Scott, Sonia, and Wendy. I want you guys to remember this is temporary. At some point, you're not going to be on these Friday calls anymore. And in the meantime, we are here for you. We are your team. We are your tribe. Reminder that you can download the chat before you leave here today. If you'd like to do so, go to the bottom of chat where it says to everyone. On the right-hand side, click on those three little dots, and then there's Save Chat. When you click on Save Chat, it pulls down that transcript and it puts it into your downloads folder. And I think, Christopher, you can do that with the closed captioning, can't you? The transcript too?
Absolutely. You can view full transcript and then save that as well.
Okay, very good. All right, guys. I will keep it open just for a moment or two after I'm done talking here, and then I'll need to close the Zoom in case anyone wants to grab the chat. But thank you so much for joining. I look forward to seeing you all next Friday. In the meantime, have a great weekend. Stay safe, stay cool out there because it's really hot. Check in on with your fellow job seekers and invite them to come out and join us every Friday at 10 a.m. Eastern. Take care, guys. Have a great weekend. Thank you. Bye-bye.